today to celebrate my father's 50th birthday. So a little bit about my father. He was born in Charlevoix, Michigan, which is up here in the Upper Peninsula. He was born to a family of his dad being 19 years old, his mother 16. They were born in wedlock. He was an only child until he was about 20 years old, and then his parents both got remarried. He lived in East Jordan until he was 5, and then he moved to Charlevoix where he grew up. So life wasn't very easy for my father. His father was an alcoholic. He was born by accident. His mother had to drop out of high school and raise him and also work full-time, so she was never around. His father didn't really appreciate him. He was an accident, didn't plan on getting married. They ended up getting divorced when he was 7. They lived in an RV and he had to bike to school 5 miles every day. He was very isolated by the community, living so far away, didn't have many friends. Family rejected him, and it was really hard for my dad to cope with society. But when I was a child, my dad would always read me a story called The Little Train That Could. So the story tells about a train that gets stopped and there's a big terrain it has to cross. And the only train that wanted to cross was the little train this little train. And the little train said that, I think I can do it, I think I can do it. And my dad used this mantra to instill into his children, me and my sister, to always keep fighting on no matter what, and things will always get better. And he really takes that to heart. So the way that my dad coped with his hardships were his friends and family. So on the left is his best man, Boogie Carlson. He's the mayor of Charlevoix. He was 2 years older than my father, great influence on him, took him in as one of his own, taught him the ropes of Charlevoix, really inspired him to be the best person he could be. And then on the right is his great-grandfather, and that's his home. So that's located right in downtown Charlevoix, and his grandparents were the biggest impact on his life because they were basically his parents. They raised him, fed him, taught him lessons, took him on vacations, put him into work, really supported him, and really supported his mother to raise him because his father rejected him. And his grandparents were really the greatest impact on his life because they were served as his parents, and he really appreciates them. So, a few traits about my dad. He was very hardworking, and obviously with the hardships he had to get to where he is today, it wasn't very easy. So he graduated high school with a 2.5 GPA, no money in his pocket, and he was left in a position with nothing to do. So he took it upon himself to go to Lansing Community College, where he worked full-time. He worked 3 jobs in the summer at the Sears store. He was a bartender, and he was working for a painting company that he actually started and worked for in college. So he went to Lansing Community College for 2 years, ended up transferring into Michigan State with a 3.9, later graduated with a bachelor's degree and an MBA in business, and later on became a stockbroker for Morgan Stanley, worked there for a couple years, built up his resume, and eventually moved to American Metal Processing, where he's the president now, and was very successful there, and that's where he is today. So how he got there was his positive attitude. I think this is my father's greatest trait. He always has a smile on his face. Funny story, in 3rd grade, he never came to one of my football games, and I was really sad about it because he used to play World of Warcraft. And in 4th grade, he decided to coached me all through middle and elementary school, and always had a smile on his face, always tried to bring up the team, even when he had to be mean to some guys, get in their face. He was always positive and really tried to look at the bright side of things. And lastly, his legacy. He always wanted to raise a family. That was his greatest goal in life because he never had that family aspect in his life. So this was after my last football game, and that was a sad moment for him because he would never see me play sports anymore. And then this was us in Portland 2 summers ago when we were celebrating my aunt's birthday, and as you can see, he always has a bright grin on his face, always happy, and Without his hard work and his positive attitude, I don't think he'd be where he is today. So, thank you, Dad, and happy 50th birthday.